continue with the Zohar on the Parsha's boy, and here it talks about the importance of leaders. And it says here from the Parsha, it happened in the middle of the night. Rabbi Chia and Rabbi Yossi were traveling from Usha to Lida. Rabbi Chia was riding a donkey. Rabbi Yossi said, "Let us sit here and pray, for the time of Mincha, the afternoon prayer, has arrived. And we have learned one should always be careful about the prayer of Mincha." Why careful? Because that is the time when judgment impends, and one must concentrate his mind. So the three prayers of the day corresponds to Chesed, Gvura, Tiferes, which is kindness, severity, and balance. The morning prayer corresponds to kindness, and the evening one to balance. Rabbi Chia dismounted, and they prayed. As they were traveling, the sun inclined to set. Rabbi Chia said to Rabbi Yossi, "Why are you silent?" Rabbi Yossi replied, "I was contemplating in my mind that the world endures only because of the leaders of the people. If the people's leaders are worthy, it is good for the people and good for the world. If they're unworthy, woe to the people and woe to the world." This strikes at something that is on a lot of people's minds, the state of Israel and the state of the world. And I would place the blame of a lot of what's going on a material basis solely on these leaders, because in many ways they have shown themselves to be unworthy. And indeed, it's caused the world a lot of catastrophe. But God is here to help, God willing. Rabbi Chia said, "Certainly so. How do we know? Because it is written, I saw all Israel scattered upon the hills like sheep without a shepherd." And God said, "These have no masters. Let each one return to his home in peace." Let each one return. The verse should read, "Let each one remain to his home." The verse should read, "in his home," for they were still in their abode. However, we have learned as follows. If the head of the people is unworthy, the people are seized for his sin. How do we know? As is written, David said, "It is I who sinned. These sheep, what have they done?" David sinned and Israel suffered. And if the leader is seized for his sin, the people are saved, since judgment does not befall them. For it is written, God said, "These have no masters." That is, if these are no longer the people's leaders, then from this way each one will return to his home in peace, all being saved if the leaders are seized. Even Jehoshaphat was ordained to be punished because he had joined Achab. Were not for that cry, as is written, and Jehoshaphat cried out. So here we talk about the expiation of sin through the leader's suffering. And elsewhere, the Zohar talks about leader's death, God forbid, atoning for the sins of the people. It's an unfortunate reality, but certainly I hope it encourages us to work even harder in terms of improving ourselves in our service of God.